Right, Mark. So, Lagrima, the minor section. So we'll get straight into it. So straight away, we've got this little E minor arpeggio here. So that is first, fifth, and then the upper third here, right? So this on its own is an E minor chord because you've got the E, the G, and the B, right? So now to look at the notation, it does kind of say that they all come off at the same time, but when you listen to it being played by the likes of Julian Bream, it's kind of a little bit more sort of like that, just in quick succession. So we're coming up. So do this with anything other than your first finger because we're going up to the 7th fret and then straight back, or 8th fret back down to the 7th, and then we're hitting this B7 here. So again, that's A7. There's the B7, and since we're not hitting the D string, we can just leave it at this. So now this is all part of the one phrase. So we're going bass, 7th, 3rd, and 5th. And again, it comes off a bit better if it's instead of that, just quick succession, and then the 2 octaves apart E's here, right? So open 6th and open 1st strings. So that phrase again. Okay, so the whole melody is on the E string all the time. So just when you're hitting that B7, make sure you're getting that one out in particular. And then we're coming up for double stops here. A minor, because there's A minor, there's the 1st, there's the 3rd, so we're just taking those 2 notes from it. A minor, G major, F sharp minor. It would be a diminished in this key, but it's just the 1st and the 3rd. A diminished is a minor chord with a flattened 5th, and here we've just got the 1st and the 3rd, so there is no 5th, so we'll just call it an F sharp minor. There's E minor, back up to F sharp minor, and then we're getting these 2 notes again, but we're getting it with the open G and B strings. So we've got, and then, so we've got these 2 fingers here, middle and 3rd, on the 3rd and 2nd strings, and the open 6th, and that ends the phrase. Okay, so now, so there's really only one way to do this little section in terms of which fingers you use. So we're going little finger. Now you do want to make sure we don't need them to be simultaneous, but we do need one to be right after the other. So you don't want to be kind of going up here and then reaching back like that, right? So you do want that kind of get the elbow in, get that fan shape going. Now, as I said, there's no overlap, but you want one pretty much immediately after the other. So we've got this 12th on the 1st, 7th on the 4th string, 8th on the 1st, 9th on the 5th, 10th on the 2nd, and then we're going straight into this little B chord here. So again, E major barred on the 7th fret, that's a B, but again, we only need this much. So that whole phrase. So you land there. Then we're coming up. So we'll slide up, come back down for another plucked note. Then we double up on that note with the open B string. And as that's ringing out, we're coming down here to this F sharp note here. And now we're doing the minor version of the way the major one started. So we've got E minor here. And again, remember that these little double stops, there's the 1st and there's the 3rd up an octave. These are D shapes. So you've got E minor, F sharp, diminished, minor. Again, there's no 5th here, so it's not really diminished, but it is a 1st and a minor 3rd. G major. Now, again on the notation, it will say just the open A string and the 10th fret, this D note here, the 10th fret on the 1st string. But most of the versions I hear have this little E note in it as well. Okay, so it's essentially like an A sus4, like D sus4 up here to where it's an A. So the way to approach is this: 1st and little finger. Okay, so there's E minor, whole thing comes up 2 frets for the F sharp minor, We're coming back to the open B string again, by the way. And then we're going up 1 semitone here, 2 semitones here for a G major. Then, if you just bring the little finger right up to the 10th fret, the third finger will land naturally on the 9th fret of the G string, right? And then, okay, so that's 5th string, 3rd string, 1st string. And then this natural minor scale, I'm not sure if we've done this particular shape, but anyway, we'll get to it next time we come over. So what we're doing is we're coming down from that, and then instead of hitting the E note here, which you normally would, we're just going to get it with the open E string. So we're just coming down. So this is 10, 8, 7, 10, 8, 7, open E string. So we're coming up from here. Well, let's go back a bit. So that's just as much part of the phrase as those ones on the 10th, 7th, 10th, 8th, and 7th frets. And you just end that phrase with the open 1st string. Then we're making it an E minor chord by adding the open B and open G strings. Then we've got what looks like a D7 here. It's an F sharp diminished because there's F sharp minor, right? There's E minor. F minor, F sharp minor. 1st, 3rd, 5th, and then 1st again. So if I flatten this 5th and then put that up there, that's actually an F sharp diminished. And then we pinch the outside B notes of this B7 chord here. I've just got the B note here. So that's 5th and 2nd strings. So 2 B notes there. 2nd fret, 5th string, open 2nd string. Then we come in here with these two, 1st fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string. And again, just like the way the last one finishes, now they do come off more or less at the same time. And a very subtle little 6th string at the end. So I'll just do a quick run through the thing just to summarize that, and we'll leave it there. So here we go. All right, and we'll talk detail then, and getting it kind of sweetening it up a little bit. But that should be enough to get it off the ground for now. And as I said, we'll talk the finer points in the next time we come around. All right, I'll see you then.